Hello, this is Crochet Basics with K.Jolie, and in this episode I just wanted to show you briefly working with fuller yarns with furry, hairy, or chenille type yarns. Okay, so they have a hook suggestion size as always, and this is considered a super bulky, and it's a double wrapped, which there is 2 strands running through it. So with this, before you start, you want to make a little knot just to keep it nice and tight and together or whatever, and later on you'll snip that off and you'll put it on your yarn needle and weave it in. But with this, if you're going to chain a regular starting chain, you want to go a size bigger, maybe 2 sizes bigger, and you want to hold it loosely, because these types of yarn, it's very hard to see where the stitches are, where the chaining is, and a lot of times you have to do it by feel. So don't get discouraged or frustrated. So a lot of working with these types of yarns, hairy, fuzzy, furry yarns, it is by feel. So you want to work up to it, or play around with it, maybe just get a skein to see what's what. All right, so you can do a regular chain with it. So I'm using an N hook for this, and it suggests an L hook, but I'm using an N, and I'm just going to loosely chain a few chains here. Okay, and you want to feel it. You can feel it because of the second wrapping on this particular yarn. You can feel where your stitches are. Okay, but just loosely. With this, you definitely do not want to work too tight with it. If you're knitting, yeah, okay, because if you're knitting, your rows are already on your needle, so that's different. But with this, and with this, I suggest a double crochet, because if you're doing a single crochet, it might just be too tight, and you're going to be like, oh, where is that stitch? I can't find it. So you'd skip 2 or 3, because it's a bulky yarn and you're using a bigger hook. Okay, and you would work just regular, holding it, but you'd feel, you can look closely, but you might not be able to see it, so you can kind of feel where the last stitch was. And with this, so that if you get a little nutty or whatever, instead of working the top of your double crochets, the little braid, instead of working that, when you go back, work in between, and it just makes it a little shorter. No big deal, but it's just easier to work with. And another thing with these types of yarn, okay, if you mess up and you have to pull it out, you want to support it. You want to support where you're pulling it out, because they do have a tendency to stick. Like if it makes it harder to pull out it, and it actually showing. So, and also if you're going to work with the chenille yarns, you definitely want to support it, because as you unravel, if you mess up with a chenille yarn, the hairy furry yarns that fall apart, you'll have a big mess of chenille if you don't support it. If you support it, you'll have less of a mess. You'll still have a mess, but if you support it, you're better off. And it's the same thing with the weaving in and everything, getting it on the yarn needle. And with this, you might just want to use a smaller hook. Try and pull it through a smaller hook when weaving, if you're going to pull it through your stitches to weave it in at the end. So I hope this is helpful for you. Try different yarns, different hook sizes. With this, you know what, you don't want to go with what they're suggesting. If you're trying it for the first time and you've never worked with this yarn before, you definitely want to go with a bigger hook. I couldn't find my P hook. I don't know where it is, but a size N, which is 2 sizes higher than what they suggest, works just fine. And you can just work in between the stitches. You don't have to work the tops of the stitches. And a loose stitch with this is fine, because it's fuzzy. It's already going to be warm. So you're just letting a little air in underneath the blanket, if that's what you're going to make with it, or a hat and everything. So if you have any questions, please ask. If you'd like to see more tutorials, let me know. Please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. As always, happy hooking, because it keeps you off the streets. that's all, I guess. Have a great day. Thank you. Bye.